So folks, I'm back again. I've decided that we'll do a return flight, separate video though, same like flight setup kind of thing that we've just done, but yeah, we'll depart from here, and we're going to do a flight to Munich, so we'll basically do a full turnaround flight and we'll see if we can can do a better job with the ILS. And one thing I probably did forget to do was, oh no, that went automatically. So so usually you're supposed to do that manually. You're supposed to flick it over to the VOR or the ILS frequency, but that thing that happened there was it went in the previous flight. It actually went automatically into ILS, which is good. But yeah, we'll do a turnaround flight. We'll just set her up and return to Munich this time. So I'm just going to load that new flight plan into here. Come into our... We'll give this a go. We'll see if we can enter this. See if we can just see if this flight plan will enter in. So I'm just going to pause it quickly. So just link my thing up to SimBrief and just loaded up the flight plan, and we're going to see if this works. So we'll see if... Sweet, so it actually sent our flight plan in, which is perfect. Let's make sure our... Might need to change our airport, so we'll do that. That is actually entered in everything for our flight plan, so that's perfect. So that, I mean, I'll still do it manually, but it's good that this is all being transferred over automatically, so that's brilliant. Really cool feature. And all we have to do now is we've executed our flight plan. We'll select our departure, which is runway 31, Persif 1F, execute. So we've got that into our flight plan, and let's see if it will do our perf data array. So does that go under here, or do we still have to... I'm not too sure if it... Let's see if those numbers match up. So yeah, it has set everything up which we've set in our SimBrief dispatch, so that's perfect. So set the payload into the simulator and then copy that data into our FMS, and we're going to be travelling at, we'll just go flight level 360, so flight level 360, enter into here, execute. And we still have to enter in this data here, so it's going to be 0, so a bit +5, so just do +5 just to show what you do. Execute the next page. Our reserve fuel is going to be, we'll just do 640, eh? Done, and our VNAV set up. We do have to change that, so that's going to be... That's going to be Yep, 6.5. And Germany is 5,000, isn't it? So select 5,000 for our trans level. Execute. So that's all of the flight plan all done and sorted. So that was very easy. Just make sure we set all of these like so that all matches up. Right. And one thing we should do is we should go to takeoff and see what our can we change these? Why do we select the flex temp? It must be in somewhere in here. Oh yeah, we can select our flex temp, so we'll do that. This is something I didn't do in the last flight, so our flex temp is 40. We do believe see a takeoff, off, takeoff, blah blah blah. But yeah, that seems to be pretty good, so I'm not too sure this data is, can't really enter that. So that's everything set. That's pretty good, and we'll try this flex temp setting, eh? So we can now. We don't need to check our flight plan, do we? I think we're pretty good. What we will do is we'll select our heading, because we did change it when we had to get back on profile. So select that to 306. I'll just keep it like that, so it follows that line straight out, and we'll select our, come back to our aircraft, our options, and select this 2000s because it's a lot easier. I thought I did do that. Turn that off. Is it working now? Oh yeah, perfect. Select our cruise altitude of 36,000 feet, and we might as well set up for our landing as well because it's a short flight. Our approach, so here where our star ended, our arrival. We'll find out. No, it wasn't. Just, oh, don't want to push that. Oh, cancel. Going to where our star ends, which is over here. We'll select this one. So our transition is going to be obviously this VOR over here, and that looks perfect. That looks like a nice arrival into Munich, so we'll enter that in, so it's all ready to go. So we'll go to departure, push it again to go to arrival. RLS 8 left, a land 2A, and we are going to use MIQ for our transition. What's our arrival data? Oh yeah. Sweet, execute. So that, like I showed you guys before, a great example of, if you don't check it, we'll just hop into our plan page and we'll just go through our flight plan, make sure it looks pretty thereabouts. That's looking perfect, folks, so we're happy with that. something's not allowed, so anyway, let's jump back to the normal format and let's get ready to take off, folks. Let's get this powered up. Right, so we can come into the aircraft, shut all the doors. We might as well get rid of the chocks too, so we'll just didn't connect up anyway, so that's good. Fuel pumps can come on, that can come on now. We can now turn on our probes, turn these to on and arm that. Beacon light can come on, and we can now, what I'll do is I'll just put on those chocks again and just remove that, just to get rid of that. Get rid of that warning light. Now I can remove the chocks. And let's head over to Munich, folks. Taxi lights, oh yeah, leave the taxi lights on. We're going to taxi out straight away anyway. Remember, hold it down, as I found out, till the start light comes on, and then we can wait till it gets to 10% and we can introduce fuel. I don't know if the Boris sound pack that I've got is working as it should. It seems a bit light on the sounds, doesn't it? Right, we'll just start engine number 1 now, shall we? Till it gets up to 10% and we can click and drag up. It's a bit fiddly that. We can turn on our transponder. Before we forget, we'll go back to our performance page and we will select our takeoff trim to 7.7. And we'll select our flaps, get that ready for flaps 8 takeoff. And that sounds like everything's all clicking, all of the sounds that everything's working. Turn off approach mode, we don't need that, but we'll turn on heading just to start off, and we can now turn off our power, then click this button to release the APU button, and we can now start our taxi out. Like a true regional jet, these things appear to turn on a dime. I've always had lots of fun flying this aircraft, but this might give me a newfound passion and enjoyment in flying this. We don't need that anymore. So let's see how this flight goes, the return flight, all done in the same session, you could say. The only difference is I just started a new video while I was setting up the next flight. But all done in basically in one take, so that's good. Nice little turnaround. Definitely need to get the those E-jets over there at some stage. I think I might get those once they've got the RNAV implemented. Right, there was a thing, I watched a YouTube video guide to box these, get rid of these. I think that's... That's the stats. I'll just get back on track. Oh, and we should set our landing. That's why I did this in the first place, is to set our landing altitude, which is going to be 1,500 feet, 1,480, so we'll select that. Too far off course. It's basically, what was it again, 14.8 wasn't it? 14.8, so a few more little... One more flick and that's 14.8, perfect. We better focus on takeoff. Right, what we will do is we will, since we're getting close to our departure point, we will turn this to manual, turn on our landing lights, just get this all ready because it's just us flying. Remember to arm your toga takeoff go around, your toga, so you can get your climb profile, whatever you call it. And just make sure takeoff config's okay, which means we're all set to go. Make sure your nose wheel, you didn't need to turn that off, but I always forget to turn it off when I'm doing turnaround flights if I'm pushing back. But there was a little button that we pushed to box these little light things up here, so we have to find a way to do that. I mean, not find a way to do it, just I like to know how he did that again. But anyway, I'll do a little. I'll watch a YouTube video while we're flying and see which button it is. Right, folks, we're coming up to our takeoff. Everything's all set. I think the probes, they turn those probes on more closer to the actual departure, like for instance now, unless it's freezing cold outside, but it's not, it's a balmy 15 degrees. Right, we're just pretending we're getting clearance for takeoff. Yeah, you can hear that sound of the tyres here. So the Boris pack is working, it's just because I had my sound right down low. Anyway, we're gonna spool up the engines, climb, takeoff toga, and away we go for our flight back to Germany, to Munich. It's going to the flex temp, which is good. See, that's working, and we can now landing gear up. Now go to climb mode now. Turn on the autopilot, go to heading mode to begin with. Click speed mode, get that speed up to, say, 180. We've got flex up speed actually, we'll scroll it just above flex up speed. We've got to do Aerosoft takeoff, that's no big drama. And we can now go into nav mode. And let the autopilot do its thing. We can now turn off our reverse thrusts, we can now go back to auto, we can we'll leave these off and on for now until we get over 10,000 feet. Last little bit to a flat can now come up, and that's our set for our climb altitude, our climb configuration. Scroll the speed up to 250 now, push the magic B button to set our altimeters. And yeah, this is a really good, lovely aircraft. I'm really enjoying flying this. I might see if those engines are a bit louder now that I've got the volume up. Yeah, it's got that sort of hum at the back here. Button, oops. What I will do is, oh no, we'll go to the back of the aircraft quickly. It's good being able to go into the cabin now. Louder in the back here, isn't it? Nice view out over the Baltic Sea, I do believe. Right, go back to the aircraft, to the cockpit, we'll shut this door. Not that there are any passengers, real life passengers on anyway. We'll scroll this up to 290 and we'll get our speed up there and we'll climb up. And I think we can basically just go into warp speed mode and we'll just speed up this flight. Yeah, we can come off and turn off all of our lights and select these to auto so they can move around and use their electronic devices. so you can just start throttling back just a bit. And just sort of throttle back just enough for us to be able to peel back, and then we'll increase it ever so slightly so we can get that gradual speed up. But like I said, it was gradually speed up to the point where it only got up to like Mach 0.7, 8. Right, looks like we're getting close to our top of the descent, and it looks like it's the poor CRJ isn't handling 4 times quite as smoothly as it used to. What do we want for our... We're going to be at land down at 13,000 feet, so let's... Maybe we set 21,000, we'll set 13,000 feet. For some reason, and it's not tracking the heading, which is a bit odd. Don't know where that's going. Interesting. Let's go straight to XUCA. So it missed a waypoint there, which is a bit odd. I've never had that issue before when I was trying to enter a waypoint, it wouldn't, and I thought I did update the charts and whatnot, so I'm not too sure what that was all about, but hopefully we'll get back on profile very soon. But it's messed up my top of descent indicator thing, so I'm not too sure how we're going to get that back. Hopefully that will now go to the next waypoint. Which it looks like it is. Looks like it's getting back on path now, which is good. No, but it is doing some weird things here at the moment, which is a bit interesting, to say the very least. I've redone, if you're watching, I just reset my cruise altitude to a low altitude and it's reset my top descent, which seems to have worked, but it's just not capturing this very well, is it? It's really struggling, which is, if it's human error on my part, then as I said, I'm not a pilot, but I've never really had this issue in the previous versions, so oh well, we'll just see how it all goes, eh? I might just go into manual heading mode and just get this, just fine tune it a bit, just get it on track. Slow this plane a bit. just going to go into manage speed mode now, so that will hold my speed. Just follow that snowflake there, so my managed approach, my final fix is going to be $5,000 feet, so we're already set with that, and we're just going to go for Cat 1 because it's a clear sunny day out there. That'll be 1600. Set it to 670, that's just rounded up. And it seems to be settling down now, which is good to see. Just over there. Turn on our thrust reversers, get those armed and ready. And everything's all set regarding live now before we come into land, so that's all good. Using a bit of spoilers just to keep that speed under control. That descent rate. And I think what we will do is we'll just fly this in manual heading mode just so we can come around, so we can sort of cut across these turns a bit smoother. And we'll dial our speed down to 220 just to get that speed just a bit more under control. And while we're in manual heading mode now, we'll select our nav source to localizer. we'll do the manual. So the previous flight we did actually automatically switched over to localizer mode, which was quite cool. So just doing this last little bit, just basically manual heading mode. Apart from that little hiccup with a random waypoint, it seems to be going not too bad. Not too bad at all, actually. What's our goal around? I was saying 5,000 feet, so I don't need to change that at all. Make sure our course is correct, so it's 080, which is 080 in here on our course for our localizer, and we can now start tuning for our localizer now. And what we do, I will push B to set our altimeters, and we can now just go approach mode, and then that should hopefully capture or switch from a heading mode. Now it's switched to approach mode, which is what we want. Just keep our speed just up a little bit. We might as well put some slats out. We'll just set our heading to the same bearing, which is 0080. And hopefully this plane will now follow around to chase that. Yeah, it's slowly chasing that localizer. And just using the spoilers just to get our speed just a bit more, so we can start lowering the landing gear, and we'll wait till we get a bit closer to the airport, keep that speed up. Flaps 8 just to pull our speed back just a little bit more. Once we get to 6 nautical miles, we'll just do keep our speed up as much as possible. Oh, and to get rid of these messengers, I found that to box them, if you just push the stats page, it gets rid of these messages, and then if a new message will come up, it will just keeps everything nice and clean and tidy. Right, we can lower our landing gear now. Day here in Munich. For some reason it's just lost the ILS, which is a bit of a interesting thing. Going quite well there, but it's dropped off again, which is interesting. Once again, if it's my personal error, then that's me, but
1,000.
Anyway, luckily it's pretty open visibility, so we can now land this with and it is a very windy day here too, so it must be struggling with that.
Sync rate 500.
It's a very, very windy day here in Munich, that's for sure. Just disregard those aircraft taking off.
300. 200. Sync rate 100. 50. 40. 30. 20, 10,
and touchdown. And we're just going to take this exit here. Folks, we're in Munich. We can now turn off all of these landing lights, strobe lights, get that APU up and started. Flaps can come up. And I think we'll just take one of these terminals here, shall we? Once again, if you just push the stats page, just pops up all of these little indicator lights there, and we will okay. We'll take this one here, eh? This one will do. Turn off these taxi lights. That will do quite nicely, so we'll now power down the aircraft, turn off the passenger signs, beacon light can come off, fuel pumps, pitot can come off as well, and we can now we'll call the jetway. And we'll put down the guardrails because we've got the jetway coming in. And folks, we are now in Munich, so thank you for joining that part of this segment as well. And it's basically the same aircraft we saw in Poland there, so yeah, it was a good flight. A few little interesting things that happened for this part of the flight. No idea what happened, but it might be my error on my behalf. But apart from that, it's like I say, I really enjoy flying the SRJ. It's a lovely aircraft and it seems to be doing quite well. And we'll leave it at there. We'll leave it at that, folks, and we'll see you again in our next video. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you again shortly.